Hello everyone, welcome back to another video in my channel. Today we're going to be flipping through my 2018 bullet journal, which was actually my very first bullet journal. And so yeah, I went ahead and wrote this on the front like a year and a half after I finished this journal, just so I knew which one it was for future reference. But before that, all there was this sticker on the front, and then this Team Instinct sticker on the back, which I believe is from Redbubble. And I'm not sure where this one's from. It's from on Etsy, but I don't know what shop anymore. It's been at least 2 years since I bought it, so yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and open it up and skip the first page because it's my contact information. And as you can see, I didn't really care about being neat in this one at first. And you'll see how really simple it is, because at first for me it was for function and not for aesthetics. And as I say that, there's this nice little cover, but I drew this actually towards the end of the year when I was being more creative, so yeah. But this is a little more what the beginning of my first bullet journal actually looks like. My dates, birthdays, and all that stuff. My goals for the year, which was to get back into art and making videos, to go to college, and to move out. And I actually managed to accomplish all of those that year, so I was actually kind of proud of myself. And then January. So you can see, very simple, you know. I had a general color scheme, but then I just didn't listen to it when I was color coding the stuff on my calendars. But you know. And then I have this weekly setup where I have the days of the week right here, and then I have this page over here. And I don't know why I thought the dotted line thing was cool, but I did. And as you can see, I used it every week for the first few months actually. Then February, I have a different color. Still didn't pay attention to the color scheme with my color coding here. But yeah, and then again, the same weeklies. So let's go ahead and get through those. And then March is where I started to spice it up a little bit. Wow, luck of the Irish. That's all I did to spice up the monthly. Then I have these weeklies again, and then March is where I started experimenting with my weeklies, and I kind of ignored my color scheme right here, but you know. And here's another week of that where I followed my colors, and yeah. And then at the end of the month, I went ahead and added in a habit and mood tracker for the first time, and I tracked my expenses for the first time. And look, I used to have great profits at the end of the month because I was still living with my mom and had no bills. I miss those days, honestly. My first quote page, I guess you could call that. I kind of like how bold and simple it is, but it's definitely not my style anymore. I don't really do that many quote pages in general anymore, honestly. But yeah, so April, I actually have a theme, and there is some glitter on these black stars that I used my clear glitter pen for, but it's kind of hard to see because it's worn off, and I'm sure it's even harder to see on video. But yeah, then a mood tracker that did not follow the color scheme, another expense tracker, habit tracker, my first brain dump, and then the monthly calendar all the way back here. And then I tried one of these, and yeah, I was not a huge fan of it, so it only lasted 1 week. And then this is the very first time that I used this layout, which is a pretty common go-to layout for me even to this day. But yeah, that's what I did for the rest of the month. I kind of like this where it's just the boxes, but I like trace the outline with the colored marker. But yeah, and then I have some like sticky note things with quotes on them. I love the stars too fondly to be fearful of the dark. The darkest nights produce the brightest stars. I will love the light, for it shows me the way, and I will love the dark, for it shows me the stars. I'll flip it in May, and I honestly really like these waves, and I thought about maybe trying to do them again in a future spread, but I don't know, maybe update it a little more. But yeah, and then I have more sticky note quotes here that say, "The stars are the landmarks of the universe. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground." And then, "A certain darkness is needed to see the stars." So, you know, all star themed. But yeah, we're into May. I have more waves here. I did this little box. I don't know, did I do that in April? You think I would remember after only... Okay, yeah, I did do that boxy look before, but I decided not to have the drop shadows this time. Sorry if you hear the creaking of my desk. I'm like trying not to lean on it too much, but then when I like reach for my thing, it just, yeah. Anyways, here's my brain dump and my expense pages. And like, I really like how this looks with like the stripes inside the box. And I also like how this title turned out with like the white gel pen highlighting the letters. I think it turned out pretty nice like that. And my mood tracker actually following the color scheme. There's some character growth for you. Another habit tracker. I don't know why I put these lines here. They're there just to be there. But yeah. And then my weeklies in May are pretty simple. Again, I kind of like that color outline, but yep, that's what I did for these. And then I went all out on June's cover page because this is the month that I went on a huge family vacation with my boyfriend and we moved out of our apartment. And here it is. I used Tombos for this. And we went to Branson, Missouri. And we went the same week as my boyfriend's 19th birthday, I think. Which, if you don't know, in Nebraska, 19 is the age where you legally become an adult. Whereas it's usually 18 in other states, it's 19 in Nebraska. So 19 is a fairly big birthday for us. But yeah, I decided to, this is supposed to be a tree, and then this is supposed to be like a grassy field with a river in the background. I don't know if you get that vibe from looking at this, but that's what it's supposed to be. But yeah, June was a huge month for us. We went on a big family vacation. By that, I mean we went with Jordan's entire family on his mom's side. So it was a caravan of like 7 vehicles with 21 people, including the children. So it was like a big vacation. And better yet, the day after we got home from vacation, we moved into our new apartment, which is the one we are still in today. So like, it was a very big moment for us because Jordan and I had been living in my mom's basement. Well, I'd been living in my mom's basement since she bought that house, but Jordan had moved in with us. Basically, me and him went to a hotel on our first anniversary, and when we came back, he just never went home. He just stayed with us. Like, he went home to get his clothes, but yeah. And so he'd been living with us until me and him decided to get our own place. And this is when it happened, and I kind of tried to do like a scrapbook thing for the vacation, but which I did the pictures, but I never went in and wrote like the caption and the journaling part of it, so it's just a bunch of pictures pasted in. But yeah, that's me and that's Jordan. That's his cousin Chase, who is trying to be a Twitch streamer right now, not back then. And this is the whole family. Like I told you, there was a lot of people. And we went to ride the ducks in Branson, Missouri. And this was like a week or 2 weeks after we got back home. There was like a crazy storm and like 11 people died riding the same like amphibious vehicles that we were on. So that's kind of crazy. And of course we had to go through the fantastic caverns, like a little cave tour. We went and spent some time at a lake. We did like this train ride / restaurant thing, and then on my boyfriend's birthday, I took him and the other teens in the group. We all went to the Ripley's Museum in Branson, and he's like a huge Ripley's Believe It or Not fan, so I thought that would be like the perfect thing to do for him. So yeah, that's where we took him on his birthday. And then when we brought him back to the cabin where we were all staying at, they had like a big surprise birthday party thing for him. So yeah. And these are some weird Lego candy things that he got at the Ripley's Museum that he really enjoyed. The simple things amuse that child, I swear. Oh, he's not a child anymore, but. And then there's Jordan again with his younger cousin. They were playing pool in the basement of the cabin we were staying at. And then we're into July. And again, we have more stars and a purple theme. Some more trackers. I decided to start doing water intake. A different expense tracker. This is actually the one I use nowadays if I have an expense tracker. And then I also was trying this budget thing, but yeah. And then I was tracking video ideas and the music I wanted to use in my videos, because I used to do speed paints on my art channel, which is still up, but I don't really post anything on it right now. And then all the commissions that I did through Instagram back in the day. Different type of monthly layout where I have the monthly calendar, and then I have the corresponding week right next to it on the next page, where I would write the important days of the week with these color markers. And then a weekly setup where I would have work and then home for each day. And that's just what I did for the whole month. And then another quote that I believe I put on one of the sticky notes already. So, yeah. But then I did some constellations for the zodiacs. And then there's a cute little quote thing that I did that says there's always a reason to smile. Find it. And I accidentally did like an ombre effect in the background of this drawing, because before I wrote the letters in, I had outlined the flowers and stuff in this black brush marker. And then when I used the blue Tombow to do the streaky look, the black marker bled into it, so it created an ombre by accident, but I actually like how it looked. And then I just used the black marker to write August and a white gel pen to outline it, and it turned out pretty nice. I would probably change the wreath, but the inside effect looks pretty decent, I think. And then here we go. This month ended up being pretty busy, and by that I don't mean the month itself, I mean the design, the doodles and stuff. So yeah, definitely a lot to look at. The sun will come up and we'll try again, which is the same quote I had on this side of the page for the June setup. then every day is a fresh start with another one of these little wreath thingies, and then we're into September. And very neon orange from my orange mild liner. If anyone thinks that's pastel, they're wrong, because that's still like really neon when it's in large amounts. Yep, we got this orange theme going on. I did these little things. I like how they look, but they took forever to do. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get through these. Then all at once, summer collapsed into fall. And then we have October with Inktober 2018's prompts written out. And I actually did quite a bit of these. Yeah, I actually did quite a bit of these in a special sketchbook that my boyfriend bought for me on our anniversary where we went to the hotel. We walked around at some shops the day after the hotel, and he got me this special little sketchbook that has gray paper in it, and so that's what I did this year's Inktober drawings in. And I think I got all the way up to 19 in color, and then I have a few more. Oh no, because I must have done them out of order or something, because like I did Filthy in color, and Wings is only lined. This one's only in pencil, and a few of these aren't even done yet, but I got all the line work done all the way up to 28, and then the last three I never drew. So I almost finished. But yeah, I really love the way this pumpkin looks with like this simple shading with the gray tombos. But yeah, it's just a grayscale theme with our usual layouts. As far as the layouts go, the rest of my journal is still pretty boring, I would say. Just some random orange sparkly stuff taped in, I guess. But yeah, as far as layouts go, my journal is still pretty boring for the rest of it, but I think in these past months that we just finished flipping through, it got a lot more interesting as far as having color schemes and themes and doodles and stuff like that. Like this right here you wouldn't have seen in the first few months of me bullet journaling, but as you can see, I decided to be more doodly and stuff in it because I did like drawing and stuff. So yep, we get into November, another one of those wreaths. And I tried this horizontal, like, important dates thing here that I see a lot of, like, YouTubers use, but I don't know, it just didn't really work for me. Especially for a month like November with, like, Thanksgiving and really early Christmases happening, because I would have, like, the original days set in, but then I'd have, like, several events on one day. Like, me and Jordan's anniversary is on the 22nd, and it was the same day our anniversary was on Thanksgiving that day, that year. So I have Thanksgiving, our 3-year anniversary, and then his dad's Thanksgiving was that day, and since it was Thanksgiving, my work was closed, and like, it just didn't work for this month. But I think if I tried this layout on a month where I'm less busy, I think it would look okay. But yeah, and then we're just into the same generic stuff with little doodles of the pieces of the wreath. Okay, now that I'm done being interrupted by the boyfriend that I've been referring to, he was like, he cracked the door open and he was just like peeking through a crack in the door at me while I was trying to record. And I wouldn't have known if the cat wouldn't have freaking gave him away, so he's just being a butt. But anyways, I just have little doodles that you can see that are on the wreath here. And I just kind of have them scattered around, but I didn't color any of them in because I just wanted them to be there, but for them not to be super busy, like what month was it? Like this month. I didn't want them to like overtake the page and make it look busy like in that month. So I just left them black and white around the edges. And here I have quite a busy looking weekly. So the days go down like this, and then I have different categories for each day. I have events, work, home and other tasks, and then art related. So I have like my Inktober prompts, and then I also have like if I have a commission to do. So there's that. And then here we have December, where I just did this little wreath of dots and snowflakes and whatnot. And I tried another vertical one, which turned out better for the most part until you get into the week of Christmas, and then it's a mess. But yeah, just a nice light blue theme, just to keep it simple. And then I decided to reduce it to only 3 groups. I have events, I have work, and then I have home and other things here. And yeah. That's all we have for December. And then I have a Christmas shopping list for Jordan and family members. And then some people at work. We did a Secret Santa thing with my family on my mom's side. And then Christmas for me, basically. Christmas to myself. Or, well, I listed things that other people got me. Like, Jordan got me Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Ori, which are video games. And he got me Red Dead Redemption 2. His grandparents got me leggings. My mom got me earbuds. And then for the Secret Santa thing, I got winter gloves and candles. And then here's a list of Christmas gifts we bought for the apartment, basically. Things that either we bought or the family gave for us. And then here I have unexpected gifts, and they were from people that I wasn't expecting a gift from. But yeah, and then partway through the year, I decided to do a list of ups and downs throughout the year. So I had like a plus sign if it was good, a minus sign if it was bad, a plus with a minus under it if it was like neutral, so yeah. And then my hopes and goals for the next year. And then college prep, because in September I went and applied for college to start in the spring, which was really late. Like, I almost didn't get the financial aid, but it was kind of a last minute decision because I was just talking about, you know, I would really like to go to college. I was supposed to go into the dorms right after high school, but that didn't happen. And my coworker was like, well, why don't you just apply right now? And so he literally made me get on the work computer and apply to college while we were at work. So yeah, that's how that happened. So then I got into college, I had to get prepped for it, had my first classes set up, and I put my spring calendar for college, like when the breaks are, when my fees were due, that kind of stuff. And yeah. And then planning for my next bullet journal, spreads to keep or throw away, or add or change, whatever. And then an updated yearly log with birthdays and holidays and all that. I think that's the end. Yeah, there's a blank page. Apparently my boyfriend used one of my pages as notes, so that's nice. Oh, yeah, I started tracking me and my boyfriend's extracurricular activities. We'll just leave them, we'll just call them that. So that's what that page was. But we don't need to go into detail about that. Anyways, yeah, so then I just have some tester doodly pages. I don't have a swatch page on this one really, except for those little marks, but usually like this whole back page is just covered in swatches in my more recent journals. And then in the back I just have the basic stickers that come with a Leuchtturm. So yeah, that is my very first bullet journal and how it turned out. And you could really see my growth as a journaler throughout this, and that's kind of why I wanted to show it to you guys. But I also wanted to show you because in the beginning of this journal, when it's all really simple, there's nothing wrong with that, because I originally started this bullet journal for something that was functional. Like, that was the original purpose, and that is the original purpose of all bullet journals, is to provide some sort of function. And I think everyone forgets that the bullet journals are not there just to be something pretty to take a picture of. Like, it's totally fine if you're like making it pretty to take pictures of and then actually using it, but yeah, that is the very beginning of my bullet journal journey. And yeah, I've moved from this and now I am in this journal. And yeah, I still have a pretty simple, there's still months where I do everything really simple. Like, this one doesn't even have a cover page, it's just the month and then I start my trackers, you know? So, there's so many different ways you can do this. It doesn't always have to be pretty. If you want to make it pretty, that's fine. I can't really judge you for that because I do it too, you know? But I think everyone forgets that the original purpose of the bullet journal is to be useful, so. But either way, I just thought it was kind of interesting, and I thought it would be fun to just look back and see where I started. And if you watch any of my videos, then you know where I'm at right now, and you can see the immense change from the beginning of this journal to the journal I'm in right now, which is now my 4th journal? Yeah, it's my 4th, because I have 2018, 2019, and then 2020 has been split into 2 months, because, again, I've been going for much more aesthetic. Not so much in my second half of 2020, but 2020's been a mess for all of us, so. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day or night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.